This is Noir Alley, and I'm your host, Eddie Muller, lying low at bar 355 in Oakland, California, aka Noir Alley West. What is film noir? I've been asked that more times than I've been asked, what are you drinking tonight? The pithiest answer I've come up with is suffering with style. You cannot overstate how big a part style plays in the enduring popularity of film noir. Today, I've got a film many consider the apotheosis of noir style. It's Le Samouraï, a French film from 1967 by master stylist Jean-Pierre Melville, starring one of the coolest actors in the history of cinema, Alain Delon. No filmmaker on earth had a deeper affection and appreciation for American movies than Jean-Pierre Melville. And not just movies. He was obsessed with the clothes, the cars, the slang, and the criminal mythology he absorbed from Hollywood movies. Born Jean-Pierre Grumbach in 1917, he took Melville as a code name when he fought for the French resistance in World War II, and kept it when he began making movies in the late 1940s. After he was denied an apprenticeship in the French studio system, Melville opted to work outside the establishment, becoming a complete iconoclast, one who built his own studio on Rue Jenner in Paris, where for almost 2 decades he lived and worked, making no distinction between the two. Like many artists, Melville essentially made the same piece over and over, always trying to craft the perfect artifact from his cinematic obsessions. His films are all tales of loners living by a personal code in a cold and corrupt world where navigating treachery and deceit is a way of life, and the measure of a man is how cool and unflappable he remains when betrayal comes from all sides. To that end, Melville found the perfect avatar in Alain Delon, an actor whose implacable gaze and icy facade could project depthless mystery and nothing at all. Melville tailored Le Samouraï specifically to Delon's chilly persona. The actor portrays a professional assassin modeled on Philip Raven, the character played by Alan Ladd in the 1942 film This Gun for Hire. Only here, Delon's character, who has the very American name Jeff Costello, is a man out of time. The movie is set in 1967, but Costello is an anachronism, striding Paris streets in his perfectly belted trench coat and immaculate fedora. It's impossible not to see the character as representative of Melville himself, who always wore a 10-gallon cowboy hat and aviator shades, favored American muscle cars, and maintained an outsider's distance, not only from show business, but from the realities of contemporary life. The film is photographed by legendary cinematographer Henri Decaz, who makes it feel like one of the most monochromatic movies ever made, even though it's filmed in color. All warm tones are suppressed, leaving blues, greens, and grays the predominant color palette. It may not have the highly contrasted light and shadow associated with classic noir, but the visual stylization is extraordinary. Melville reinterpreting the images and iconography of the crime movies that inspired him. When this film was released in America, Variety noted that it felt less like a foreign film than an American movie dubbed into French. Also starring François Perrier as the Commissar, Nathalie Delon, yes, she was married to her co-star at the time, and Kathy Rossier as a nightclub performer seemingly modeled on American expat Josephine Baker. Here's the culmination of Jean-Pierre Melville's infatuation with crime movies, American style, and pure cinematic storytelling. Le Samouraï.